line, reminding you of your personal genius and how you think in order to actualize what you desire.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elnora, otherwise known as Dr. Webb. I am in the beautiful area of Northern California in the United States of America. I'm specifically in Oakland, California, a town that is absolutely extraordinary with beautiful people, diverse settings. Being in literally this part of the world is magical in so many ways. And too often, I take it for granted. I can just look ahead and see rolling hills. I see a lagoon that we call a lake. I see the skyline of San Francisco. I see the vista points of the redwood forested areas of real Northern California. I am extremely blessed. I have a dog, Bosco, and he's right by me, here to not only protect me, but all of you as he experiences your energetic forces as you're at work, as you're at play, as you're with your families. I'm very, very, very fortunate. I'm also blessed, and I count my blessings, even as two loved ones recently passed, transitioned back to the spirit world. And they remind me, and likely for you too, of the gifts that we had when we had them physically. Their glaring eyes that let us know that they loved us deeply. Their predispositions that were so all about what edified your spirit because they were so appreciative of being alive in their diverse states of being, even when they were at their lows. They found ways to provide that smile. It reminded us of our own unique capacity to be present, to give unconditionally, even when we're at our lowest points, and especially at our lowest points. And so, as I reflect on those loved ones, and I reflect on a number of you I know, many I have yet to meet, and yet I benefit from your contributions, whether they're daily, throughout the day, and certainly weekly, monthly, yearly, decades. We've come to this topic. This topic is a very important topic for Lead Live. And Lead, for those of you who are new to this broadcast, this weekly Wednesday noon hour Pacific Standard Time or 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and of course, different times depending upon where you're at on the planet. And we're so deeply appreciative of those of you all around the planet who choose to tune in while we're live and even afterwards and share with us, especially how we've impacted your lives, your professional lives, your personal lives, edified your spirit so that you're ready, better prepared, better energized to do the work that you're planning to do, that you have been doing, that you may even not even know how to do. Because you've been inspired, you're opening up all the vistas in order to move forward. So, the topic today is, are you prepared to safeguard you, your family, and your business against financial loss? We could have phrased that a number of ways. Really, this is about you knowing that if you don't have a vault, you can create a vault that your loved ones and your business partners can open when you transition out of this plane of existence back into the spirit world. They will have your memories, your expertise, and those you've relied on as means to help them move forward and move forward effectively. They'll have, yes, your financial assets that you've left for them, that compounds at their death, and much more that enables them to not have to worry about the crisis that would otherwise they'd meet because of your passing. They don't have to worry about that. Yes, they do grieve. We grieve when we lose, or a better way to frame it, when it's time for our loved ones to transition. We don't want them to. And in fact, most of us, not all of us, but most of us fight it until we give ourselves the courage and strength, and it is courage, to release our own stuff and honor that it's time for them to take the next step. So I'm going to share a little bit today, and over the next few weeks, we'll share more. I want to begin by asking you a couple of questions. Does your family or business partners get to unlock a vault to the wealth you've built to share with them? How about the wealth manifested in a type of generational legacy that welcomes shockwaves of influencing many more than anticipated? Well, when we give and do so unconditionally, the benefits tend to exceed our aims. We are structured, or when we structure our giving, whether it's through living trust, whether it's through business succession plans, and so many other select tools that we can leverage. We prepare our folks for learnings, insights, and capacity that might not otherwise be considered even possible. Now, I've been fortunate to be conscious of some of these benefits to billions of people. While not all resulted from an initial structured plan to achieve such altruistic aims, those that were structured have been sustained for generations. Imagine you, imagine me, imagine us collectively building in our rather diverse ways, yet together, something that serves subsequent generations. They may never know our name for that matter, yet we leave returning to the spirit world knowing that we made a profound difference. In urging each one of us to be the ideal version of the healthiest and most accomplished self, my team and I understand that each one of us benefits from a foundation of knowledge to ensure such a leadership mindset to enable the initial growth and prosperity that's needed and desired to occur. So, always, we must share our gratitude to you for continuing to unlock your own potential, which results in vibrations that elevate us all to higher consciousness, healthier emotions, and transformed states of being. Yet consider doing these things in a way where you intentionally add value, definitely to loved ones. And begin with yourself. An extraordinary way, and yet a simple way to know how people, or even why people treat people the way they treat people, is for you to go inside and ask yourself, to what degree do I honor myself? Do I, in fact, even love myself? I don't mean you like everything about yourself, but are you able to love yourself unconditionally? I've been asked more than once in different ways by beautiful, remarkable people who themselves are extraordinary in their own unique ways. How is it that you look so young? Well, it all depends, because some people, especially my great nieces and nephews, said, "You're old." And all I could say in response, even if it doesn't come out of my mouth, is, I love myself. Now, that doesn't guarantee I look a certain way. And yet, my feelings emanate outward. And so, oftentimes they're not talking about the physical manifestations of how I look. It's my presence that is far more profound than how I dress, how I have my hair, my skin tone, the 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 structure of my face, the way I walk. It's influenced by a higher sense of self. It's born out of unconditional love. Now, let me be very clear. I didn't always love me unconditionally. In fact, I wanted to change so much of me because I bought into the messaging that was explicit and implicit in the behaviors of elders and others. That something was inherently wrong with me because, and you can fill in the blank with all kinds of things. And I bought a lot of that. I bought it so that I couldn't even talk very well. I didn't enunciate. I was afraid to even open my mouth for fear that I would evidence what I felt I was, which was less than. And the only way to get beyond that was to open up and walk through that journey, break through what we call the terror barrier, and realize, oh my God, that wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. It certainly was on the other side of the terror barrier. But once I broke through it, the fear didn't necessarily go away, but I had a level of confidence that just began to grow. And the more I moved, and I moved with a sense of focus, unwavering commitment, and based upon my passion, it didn't matter that I had fear. In fact, I began to leverage the fear. I began to call it F faith, F focus, follow one course until successful, E energy, E enthusiasm, E effort, A achievement, well, long before it was manifested, R responsibility, A accountability, R reflection. I began to use it to my advantage in the way many of you do. Some of you consciously, and others of you unconsciously. That's why you are where you're at. Whether you're leading a household, leading a division, running a corporation, transforming an institution, educational, community based, municipality, or much more, or silently in your remote location trying to figure it out. And let me tell you, don't spend too long trying to figure it out. Just take steps because the answers come when you make the commitment. That's the key thing that I learned. So we say, consider doing things where you intentionally add value to loved ones, your business, and life itself. And that happens when you allow yourself space to be the magic you already are. Now, I'm imagining that many of you are already doing this. I imagine that. And those of you who are doing it, awesome. Not only my, but our deepest gratitude. I'm on the receiving line all the time. All of us are. Those of you who are, for very distinct reasons, in diverse spaces, adding your value. All learning, all can learn based upon what you are doing. You bring joy, hopefully you're to yourself, but definitely to others. You take time, and we want you to take even more time to relax, to breathe deeply, to listen to the inner voice, and to be careful to distill that edifies you, elevates you, and that draws you down, harms you. Separate them to neutralize and remove all of that that undermines your well-being, and then focus on all that moves you forward with purpose, happiness, excitement. Know that you have a vault. If you've not already created it, it's already within you. You get to use different tools to make it evident so that someone can come along when you've passed. Hopefully, you've lived a long life, or at least the life you want to live completely. And then you're ready to go on to the next. You fill in the gap where the Great Spirit takes us. Take the time to do the due diligence, to create that vault so that those who are you're priming are prepared to take the keys you've provided, unlock it, and benefit even more. Because the vault is something you're creating, not just for the next generation. The vault you're creating is for multiple generations. In fact, you create a substantial vault, I'm shaking my head, almost seeming like I'm negating. It's like, it's incredible. And yet I really mean to do this. The vault that you can create can serve countless generations. So key takeaways we want to remind you. You have options to benefit in creating vaults that are codified in the Internal Revenue Code. There are resources that you can use that are already used by multimillionaires, billionaires. You have access to. All of us do. Most of us don't know. And don't worry, it's close to 95% of the population in the US don't know, let alone folks on the planet. And some of them have so many perks that not only sure protections beyond what the majority of the US are aware of, at first glance, they're likely to predispose many of us to do what a number of our clients initially did. Gasp and say, that's too good to be true. And yet it is. And we want you to learn about what we now call the wealth quadrants. Yes, there's different quadrants. There's a wealth quadrant that enables our youth, young adults to dream much bigger. Our elders and recent retirees can count on so much more comfort than they might otherwise. And their loved ones could be protected financially now and again, generations to come. So imagine businesses being able to innovate much more than at the margins. Do so and do so big, inspiring other businesses, incentivizing awesome partnerships, modeling the best for us all. How about knowing we're much more profound than our differences, our pains, our histories, and yet we can use all of that to catapult us all forward as a beautiful collective. Want to learn more about the vaults to which I'm referring that best serves you and yours? Contact me. It's an honor to be here with you at Lead Live. We look forward to seeing you next week, Wednesday at noon, with a special guest. Continue to be your best. Take very good care of yourself. Prepare for the future, for futures, not only your own. Live now in the moment as authentically as you can, with integrity, with joy. And if you don't know joy, leverage others' joy until you can create your own. Why don't?